No, I don't think I've ever. Whoa, we're on. Welcome back to Grit Gym. Today we have Amber Dunlap with us. Amber's the nutritionist out here at Grit Gym, and we have the door open, and the door open, and the window open. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know what the kind of like level of noise interference there's going to be, but when you guys come on the show, please be sure to let us know if you can hear us. Otherwise, you're just going to hear the highway behind us.
Yeah,
could be a thing, but anyway.
But with it closed, we'd be very warm.
Very warm. How did you feel like it went last time? What do you think of last time? Last time that you were on the show?
Oh, I didn't rewatch it because I can't really watch myself on these things.
Why not?
I don't know, because I overanalyze myself and then
Eric and I were doing that this morning.
Did you watch it?
I watch. I don't rewatch very many of them. The ones that I watch, I either watch like if I think they sucked, I go back and I rewatch them, and if I think that they were really good, then I go back and rewatch them because I want to figure out kind of what went wrong or what went.
Yeah, I watch them when I'm not on it. Like when I'm working, I'll watch them, but I don't like to watch myself really.
All right, so the reason that Amber's on the show today is because we just wrapped up the last 6 weeks of the nutrition group. We had our grocery store tour Monday night. And it went really well, so I wanted to have her on so that we could talk a little bit about grocery stores and what we can learn from them so that we can have better nutrition day to day. So how did this 6 weeks go anyway? Would you like compared to, you can go anywhere you want with that question, I guess.
How did the 6 weeks go?
Yeah, how did the last nutrition course go? The nutrition courses at Grit Gym are 6 weeks long, and then we take 6 weeks off, and then we go 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off.
It went great. I mean, it's kind of one of those things, like the people who participate get what they're going to get out of it. You know, we come to, right? Like, we come.
You only get as much as you're willing to put in. You reap what you sow, for sure. Yeah,
we always, I come in with an outline of things I want to touch on that are really important, and then the other half of it's kind of guided by conversation and questions people have. Yeah. So, I mean, you get in as much as you put in. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you know.
Nothing works if you don't work.
Yeah, and as a coach, you're always like, did I do enough? Did I do enough? Like, did I give enough? Did I deliver enough? But, I mean, it's. I think that the most that you get out of it, you get a good template going forward. Yeah. I think that you get the accountability of a group, and then you also get the discussion of other people going through the same journey as you. So it's something you do as a community, but it's an individual journey, but there's a lot of value by being around other people who are doing the same thing. Yeah,
exactly. I couldn't agree more. Like, you get into situations, you get into coaching groups, and a lot of the time, the stuff that you're actually discussing is stuff that everybody knows.
Yeah.
But you don't do it. So why don't you do it?
Right.
So being in a coaching group, it pushes you to do the things that you already know how to do, and then hopefully you learn some new stuff along the way. But
and we also we take a kind of a different approach to it. Did I just interrupt you? I'm sorry.
No.
We take a different approach to it. Like, it's not like you come into the Grit Gym nutrition group and we're just like, you should eat more vegetables. I mean, we do that, and we tell you we should do more of that.
Right.
But a lot of
anybody who doesn't do that is insane.
We do that, but. I mean, a lot of it is about mindset, and a lot of it's about how you fit it into your life. Yeah. Because, we all have different lives, different priorities, different jobs, different lifestyles, and you need to make nutrition work for you. This isn't a one-size-fits-all journey. This is something that, some people, love to cook and really, it's a ritual for them. It's important to them, something to do. And some people hate to cook. So it's like if you teach everybody how to make these long, elaborate, amazing meals and they hate cooking, what's the point? So it's all about, you can make it as hard or as easy as you want, or as in-depth or as simple as you want. And it's about fitting it into your lifestyle, because if it doesn't fit, then, it's, how many times have you heard, eat every 2 hours, right? What happens if you have, what happens if you're a nurse in surgery?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to do? Now you can't eat healthy, you know?
Yeah, we have a couple surgeons out here that would get stuck in, I'm sure they've been stuck in 6-hour surgeries before.
Yeah, you can't.
They've told me about them, they're supposed to stop 3 times during that.
I gotta eat
while your heart's open on the table.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, it's all about making it work for you. I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with eating that often, but there's also no magic to it either. So it's all about making it work for you and what your goal is too. Giving people advice, so much. If you guys saw the show with Eric, so much,
Yesterday,
but so much advice is given from a weight loss perspective, but what if you want to gain muscle?
Yeah.
Like, then a lot of that information isn't going to serve you.
Yep.
So it's about your personal goals, your personal lifestyle, your personal mindset, your personality, and working it all in together to make you successful.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way that everybody's going to be able to fit into the same kind of...
No, and I mean, that's a lot of
whatever.
why diets don't work, right? Like,
yeah. Well, they work for the people that they work for, and then
right.
they work for nobody else.
Yeah.
Or they work for 6 to 12 weeks, and then they don't.
Right.
Like, everything works for 6 to 12 weeks. Like, you can try anything. Yeah, this is the sucky thing about having the door open. The awesome thing about having the door open out here is that it feels like you're working out outside. You get all this fresh air, you get sunlight, you get all this awesome stuff. The bad part is you get a couple of bugs every now and then. So
if you see us whacking each other in the face.
Yeah, that's why we have come out to Grit Gym sometime and you'll see the electric fly swatter. People are sharpshooters, crazy people with it. But yeah, after that's why. Can we talk a little bit about why we do 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off?
Yeah. So we do multiple levels, so it's not like a one time through and you're done. You know, we keep going, but you need to learn to live in the real world without that accountability and see where your holes are and what you need help with. So then when we reconvene in 6 weeks, then you can say, you know, this is where I struggled. This is my problem. And then we can work through solutions to it. Yeah. If we just keep going back to back to back to back to back, you never get that real life experience. Yeah. And the whole point to this is not to, this isn't so that we have you hooked in for the rest of your life. Yeah. We want you to learn the skills needed to not even have to manage it in the long run. It just becomes your normal. Yeah, you have to go out there and you have to fail a couple times. Like you have to realize how difficult it is on your own to challenge and confront those habits that you do have. And habits are a very, very good thing. Habits mean that you can do a task without thinking about it. You want to get to that point, but we got to make sure that the habits are conducive to the life that you want to live, not sabotaging it. Well, you hear the word habit so much and you think of like bad habits. Yeah. But you know, regardless, there's good habits too. Yeah. And when you get so busy that you can't micromanage your daily decisions, you fall on your habits. So if you can build good habits to fall back on, then it's a win. Then it's just what you do. You don't have to think about it anymore. Yeah. Like that kind of gets into I talk a lot about a result and a consequence are basically the same thing. It's just like there's good consequences, there's bad consequences, there's good results and there's bad results, and you're always going to get one of them. So like what are we designing your result to be? Right. I think that's what we're getting into when we get into in the course. That's where we're trying to design these habits, and then once the course is done, then you get 6 weeks to go out and do it on your own and fight through those and confront those things on your own, and then we reconvene. Yeah. But what about, so everything works in 6 to 12 weeks. Mm-hmm. So 6 to 12 weeks, you drop 50 pounds, everything's successful. What happens after that 12 week for almost every single person? You go back to your habits that you had before. Whatever that is for you. Yeah, like that's one of the things we mentioned on a regular basis is almost 100% actually 100% of the Biggest Loser candidates went back up to their original weight. Well, your body adjusts to anything you do, right? Like, so if you live in a caloric deficit, you know, I mean, you're on Jenny Craig, you eat 1,200 calories a day, like clockwork, you're going to lose weight, but eventually your body's going to just live on 1,200 calories a day and you won't lose weight. Your body adjusts anything you do. Yeah, your body is extremely adaptive, so you have to, like, that's one of the things we do in the course is we get into like how do we actually disrupt that adaptation? Yeah. And that's another part of taking that 6 weeks off. Well, and there's also, I mean, there's some danger in. There's nothing wrong with weight loss as a goal, but weight loss as a primary driving factor in your nutrition is kind of a misnomer. I think that when you know what I mean. That I think that when you focus on health, when health is your primary driving factor in your body, This is getting deep, right? But so you live on 1,200 calories a day. Yeah. And do you think that most people's nutrition, that they get all the nutrients they need to live a healthy life while still working out and living their life? On 1,200 calories a day. Do you think that you would not be, you're going to be nutrient deficient probably? Yeah, especially if you're 6'4", 240 pounds, you're going to be you're going to look like a mess. But so the thing is, a lot of times weight loss and nutrient deficient weight loss diets and nutrient deficiency go hand in hand. So you're kind of hurting yourself, because in a lot of ways, eating more calories, eating a more diverse group of food, if you're eating for health and your body systems are working properly, your body is going to take care of you better. You're properly hydrated. You're eating your vegetables. You're eating all the vitamins and nutrients you need. If you're moving for health, right? Like you're doing all these things for health. Your body is going to help you more than trying to mess with it and be like, starve it and then try and play that game. Yeah,
your body doesn't really give a shit. It's just going to do what it does. Like it's not like you, where you like second guess things and think things over. Your body just does. Yeah. And it's got literally billions of years of evolution on you. You're not gonna outsmart it like super easy. It's gonna come back and whack you if you try to. So, like, you have to respect this thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, what, you're a wrestler and you want to cut weight, what do? You stop drinking water, right? like is that healthy just because you're losing weight? No. Weight loss is not inherently healthy.
Well, that's why we like if you walk in the door at Grit Gym and you say, and your goal is weight loss, we always ask, like, well, is it fat loss, weight loss, muscle gain? What do we want? And people like that really want to stick with weight loss, we don't say it just like this, say it in a little nicer way, but it's like, well, go to the bathroom back there, come back, you lost weight, you're successful. Yeah. You hit the target. So let's get clear on what that target really is.
And how often do we see people who don't lose a pound, but lose inches? Yeah. And their body shape changes. And I mean, they can lose dress sizes and pant sizes, and they don't move a pound.
Yeah, Emily did that. She actually gained 1 pound when she came in, but when we tested her, she had gained 21 pounds, but she had only gained 1 pound of fat.
Yeah.
She gained 20 pounds of muscle, 1 pound of fat. And when she came in, she was super, super skinny, didn't really have much curve, so she really worked hard and pushed herself to that level. But she was very concerned that she had gained all of her fat back, because she had only gained 1 pound of fat, but she gained 20 pounds of muscle. And so her body was able to metabolize more of the food that she was eating. It's your body working for you versus your body working against you.
Well, we talk a lot about that too. Like, if you put up 2 pictures of like people, like, women with a weight loss goal, right? Like, you show a picture of a person who's 105 pounds, and then you show a picture of a person who's 150 pounds, and the 150 pound person has a much, much lower body fat percentage. You're going to want to look like the heavier person every single time. Like, that's the shape you're going for. Mm-hmm. You just think it's weight loss, and it's not. It's building lean muscle mass and lowering your body fat. It actually has nothing to do with the number on the scale.
Yeah, do you want to talk about the stigma of that for a little bit? Like, the stigma of the model thing? Like, the models don't even look like the models.
No.
For instance.
No, they do not.
Like, Ryan Reynolds in real life does not look like, he does not have the ab definition that he had during the movie Deadpool. It doesn't happen. That fly is persistent in my face.
Get your racket.
Get my racket? I will, maybe here in a little bit. But the models don't even look like the models.
No, and that's the thing. I mean, like, these people, when they're, what we hold up as the ideal, they're dehydrated, they're photoshopped, they have great lighting, ideal conditions, personal chefs to cook for them.
Let's go into that a little bit. Like, okay, so for one, those people, the fitness models and like all the models really, but they probably really are in really good shape. Their muscles probably look great. We're not taking anything away from them. They had to work really hard to get there.
But being in good shape and looking like people do in ads are not the same thing.
All right, and not the same thing. So, like 2 weeks out from their show, 5 days out from their show, whatever it is, or from their photo shoot, from their show, whatever that thing is, they'll start water depleting, and they'll start pushing a lot of the minerals and salts and potassium, and they're trying to push that out of their body so that their skin will actually be closer to their muscle, so that they'll look more defined. And it shrinks their muscle tissue down quite a bit, because the water, like, your muscle is really made up of a ton of water, but it makes everything look so much more defined. And that's really not a health, like, you can't live in that state. No. You'd be miserable for one.
You'd pass out all the time.
Yeah, you just couldn't perform. So those people, when you see them
take a lot of naps.
Photo shoots and stuff like that, they're planning on being there for like a day.
Yeah.
And then they go eat.
Yeah.
And they get themselves back up to where they were before.
It's not real life.
It's not a long-term thing to think that you're gonna. So I don't know. I don't want to change people's expectations of what they're going for. If that's what you want to do, then go do it. But at the same time, use your head here.
Yeah, and I mean, you live in a world where social media and the message is that this is real life, and it's not, you know. I mean, marketing wants you to always want to get to this very hard to sustain or achieve goal.
Yeah.
And if that's always the goal, you're always going to be spending money to get to that goal, because it's very, very unlikely that a lot of people will.
If a commercial can convince you that you are not good enough the way that you are,
right,
and that their problem will solve your not feeling good enough, so if they create the problem and then they present the solution, which is what almost all of them do, then for one, that makes them a scumbag, but also
but I mean, that's marketing. This is capitalism, right? Give me money.
I don't know. That's like a really sick side of it, though. I think that capitalism can be a good thing, but
capitalism isn't a bad thing.
No, it's a great thing.
But
capitalism really should be like, you have something like if you have, I don't know. Let's say you have this phone, and I want that phone more than the dollars in my pocket, and you want the dollars in my pocket more than you want that phone, so we trade and it's even and everybody wins. Yay! That should be capitalism. But marketing today is usually, if I can convince you that you're not enough the way that you are, then I can present a solution that'll make you feel that you're enough, then you'll buy my thing. And that's garbage.
And how much money is put into making you feel not good enough? You know, so much money.
Hoping to get you there, yeah. But still, it's your responsibility to use your head to not let that influence you.
Well, I mean, and I tell people in the nutrition group all the time that don't compare your insides to other people's outsides.
That's the whole social media thing right there. Yeah. Like, if you compare everybody to everybody, social media is a highlight reel. Yeah. It's not reality. I've seen couples do the whole, we're not a couple, but they'll be like, and they're all smiley, and they'll be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Right after they took this, oh, we're having so much fun on our vacation. Yeah, and it's that's a relationship I would want to be in. But there.
That's really when health is your goal, physical health, mental health, being your best self, the best version of you. I mean, that's why, if you can truly make that your goal, it'll serve you well.
Yep.
You know, I mean, that
goes right back to the whole, if you take care of you first, you will be better at all the things that make you great and a better service to all those that you care about. Well, but it's got to be, you got to be taking care of this, not trying to please everybody else with what taking care of this is. You got to do it for you and with you.
And we talk a lot in the nutrition group too about the best sustainable diet for you. What you're eating. I don't mean diet in the diet deprivation way. I mean it
maybe you should hit on that. I'll write it down. We'll talk about that here in a second.
This has nothing to do with grocery stores, but
that's fine.
But the thing is so these diets are so unsustainable, right? Are you never going to eat another carbohydrate as long as you live? Probably not. Maybe there's some people who will. You know what I mean? There's some people who will.
Yeah, but do you feel kind of sorry for those people?
I mean, whatever makes you happy. I'm not here to judge you, but let's be serious. If you can't be that person, that's okay.
Yeah.
So it's the best sustainable lifestyle for you. So when it comes to sugar, right? Is sugar terrible? I mean, I think that my advice to people is always keep your sweeteners as low as sustainably possible. That doesn't mean none. Yeah. So it's whatever, and everybody's tolerance is going to be different, where you are satiated but keeping it as low as possible. It's all about a spectrum for you, where your best nutrition level is, while still being sustainable in the long run.
I mean, that's kind of in there with the hunger thing. We want people to get used to feeling hungry, but we don't want them to be starving all the time. That's miserable. But get used to feeling hungry. Yeah. Okay, so nutritional diet versus a nutritional lifestyle.
Well, I mean, I would consider a nutritional diet to be something, I think that it's something you're usually taking away from.
Right.
It's restrictive.
Yeah, it's restrictive.
It's restrictive, and it's highly restrictive, and you need to highly manage it. Mm-hmm. Whereas a nutritional lifestyle in the long run should be those good habits we're talking about, and making better choices more often than not, while still living a life that doesn't require constant management.
Yeah. Because up front, you're going to need to have some constant management. You're going to have a lot of discipline. You're going to have to really push this thing. You're gonna have to work hard at it. Anybody that's selling easy in the nutrition category, like, walk away.
Well, it's crap. Like, you just can't keep it up. It's not a sustainable thing. Like, listen, I mean, people ask us all the time, like, oh, can I get a nutrition plan from you?
Can I get a meal plan?
Can I get a meal plan?
Can you just write out all the meals?
Can you make my food for me?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure. And you can reach your goal, no problem. I guarantee in 6 weeks I can have you losing that 20 pounds you want to lose. But guess what? When I stop making your food, you're going to gain it back and you learn nothing. So it's like, if you're going to put your energy into something, put your energy into something that's going to pay you dividends in the long run.
Yeah, your lifestyle needs to work for you, not you trying to work for your lifestyle. But up front, you're going to have to work for your lifestyle until it becomes a thing that you just do.
Yeah.
Where it's just what happens.
See, but you might as well practice something that you're going to be able to sustain in the long term, as opposed to work. Because really, these dieting things where you work really, really hard, crash off of it, work really, really hard, crash off of it. If you just do the really, really hard work up front in a reasonable way, you don't need to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like, you'll actually save yourself time and energy in the long run if you just put in that hard work. It's just not quick and easy.
Right.
So people like quick and easy.
Yeah. It's the same thing like getting in really good shape. The first 3 months are going to suck. They just do.
Yeah.
And then you get into pretty good shape. And then to push yourself to another level is still a lot of work. But to maintain the level that you are is a very minimal amount of work.
Well, I mean, it's like, honestly, like the first week, right? Like, if you haven't been to the gym in a really long time, the first week is miserable.
Sucks. There's nothing,
but honestly,
there's really no way around it.
But it really does get better fast.
Right.
After you put in that initial really hard work.
Yeah, your body is outrageously adaptive. Your aerobic capacity it'll change basically immediately. Your speed and strength and power, those things take a long time, much longer time. But your aerobic capacity, your ability to just, our bodies are so good at that, it's insane. Yeah. All right. Well, we went through a lot of things. You want to talk about grocery stores for the last 4 minutes?
Okay. That had nothing. Yeah, that was a whole lot.
We went all over the place.
This is what it's like to hang out with us. Not very good.
You're definitely less random than I am. But I meant that as a compliment.
When I get excited about something, though, it kind of veers. Yeah.
But with grocery stores, I think grocery stores are great and everything, right? Like, we're not putting grocery stores down.
You need to go to one. They're awesome.
But they are kind of interesting because, for instance, the number one and number two items that people buy when they go to the grocery store are milk and eggs. So milk and eggs are clear back at the back end almost all the time. They're going to be all the way back at the back end, and that's to try to get you to walk through all their stuff so that you grab more things. And so the joke is about Target is when you go to Target, it's you're not going there to buy things that you need. Target will tell you what you need when you get there. So the grocery store is kind of the same way. So there are a few little things that you can do, little tricks, little whatever you want to call them, as you're walking through a grocery store to make sure that it's efficient, time efficient, money efficient, and efficient for your health too. But what's the first one that we always take people through?
Walk around the outside.
Yeah.
I feel like.
But why does that work? Yeah, that's a quiz.
Well, all the fresh food, the frozen, the refrigerated, the not shelf-stable, highly processed preservative stuff, that stuff's all in the middle. The fresher, the vegetables, the meats, the frozen stuff, it's all on the outside.
Yeah, and okay, so and since we are kind of limited on time, let's just hit the big ones. Why would you choose frozen over? Yeah,
I feel like I'm being
if you get it wrong, it's bad news. No.
Need a buzzer.
So what's it like? Why would someone choose frozen versus not frozen?
Frozen versus not frozen?
Yeah.
Well, frozen foods tend to be, especially vegetables, I guess, tend to be frozen at the peak of freshness and preserved in that state, as opposed to some of the fresher foods, especially if they're out of season. I always buy fresh when they're in season.
Yeah.
I think they taste better. Yeah. But especially if it's out of season, buying frozen food will have the highest nutrient density because it's preserved at that moment.
Yeah, it's I think the United States gets the majority of their grapes from Ecuador.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while to get here.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't lose any nutrition along the way at all.
Well, that's the thing. When your fruit or your vegetable gets to the point of ripening, that's when a ton of the nutrients get pulled out of the soil into the fruit or the vegetable, right? So if they're picked way before they're ripening, put into a boat, pulled here, then what is it? It's and then doused with gas. What's the gas? What's that type of gas?
I don't know, but I know. Yeah.
I'm brain farting. Anyway, and then doused with this gas to make them ripen, and then put on the shelf. Is that better than if they were just they got to their full ripened state, picked, thrown into a freezer, and then shipped?
Yeah.
I mean, pick your poison there.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah. I don't know. I think one can be a lot better than the other. So frozen foods aren't the devil.
No.
And walk around the outside. Those are our two big things. Oh, the other one is, what's that?
No, go ahead.
The other one is everything in a grocery store is set up to get you to buy it. Nothing wrong with this. Like if they're serving you at their highest level, they should be getting you to buy something, right? Like if I don't get you to buy the thing out here at Grit Gym, well then I didn't serve you at the highest level, because like for you to work out here is for us to have the greatest impact that we can have with anybody. So like if they don't sell you, they screwed up. But everything in there is designed to get you to buy it. And a lot of that stuff you don't need in a grocery store. You don't need the Kit Kats. I don't know where I went to Kit Kats, the Snickers, the
Reese's for me.
Gatorades, you don't need a lot of that stuff in the middle. Like you really, really do not. And a lot of that stuff is placed around to get you to grab it. You don't need that crap.
Even those end caps are facing the outside, so that you have to walk by them. And on that note, too, I mean, there's a lot of marketing terms that get thrown around, you know. So when it's gluten-free, all natural, organic, flip it over and look to see what's actually in what you're buying. Don't let the marketing sell you into something being healthy. Yeah,
your grape juice or any kind of juice is probably going to be grape juice or apple juice as their primary thing, and then just a bunch of sugar, whether it's organic or not. What was the one? Never mind. We don't need to go with brand names, but yeah, there's just a lot of these things that like is it worth the extra 30% in price to buy the organic? I think that's a little silly sometimes, but
stick to a plan. You know, I mean, we talk a lot about meal prepping.
Yeah.
We talk like know what you're gonna get going in.
Yep. Don't go in there hungry.
I order my groceries now so often, so I don't even have to play that game.
Yeah, well, that is a really good strategy. Just order online. A lot of these places, you order,
can pick up or you can deliver. Either one.
If you buy over a certain amount, I think if you buy over like $100 from Hy-Vee, they just deliver them right to your house.
And you don't even have to walk by anything. You can just go online and be like, meat, vegetables, eggs.
Yep.
All the ingredients I need for my stuff, and you don't even need to put yourself in the way of it anymore.
Yeah, and if they don't have the thing that you ordered, they're going to give you the higher priced option that they could have, which is really good. Online ordering is awesome.
It is awesome. I mean, like,
fantastic.
I'm not trying to like be a marketing person for them right now, but it's just like you feel fancy, right? Because people just bring your groceries to you. Like you do. You're so like
fancy.
Like my husband laughs at me. He's like, "Did the grocery people are just bringing us groceries?" He's like, "What? You were too good to go to the grocery store now?" But you don't have to buy.
I hate going to the grocery store. I hate taking the time to do it. It just sucks.
Yeah, and a lot of them you can like save the things that you always get and then just add in some new stuff if you need to. It's really easy. Like a lot of times, like even, you know, I camp in the summer and my husband's driving. I can order groceries in the car, like time efficient wise. Like I can use my downtime to just order the things that, you know, we need, and I don't have to walk by the Kit Kats.
Yeah. That's right. All right. Ready to shut it down?
Yeah.
We're right at that mark. That was a pretty good one.
Was it?
I think so.
I don't know. I won't rewatch it to tell you.
Why not?
Because I don't like to watch myself. We just went through this.
I know. All right. Thanks for being here, guys. If you got something out of this, if you hated it, if you didn't get anything out of us, either way.
If you hate it, just private message Adam and tell me you hate it. Don't tell me.
Tell the world.
No, don't tell me.
No, tell the world.
Don't tell me. Somebody censor it. Block me from the angry post.
I can deal.
Because I'll come in and be like, I tried so hard. And Adam's just like, whatever.
Yeah. That actually has happened before. Do you remember
the note we got in the mail?
The last time a handwritten note came in.
Someone mailed us like hate mail, like snail mail.
Mail. I've gotten that before you were here too, but
I was really sad, and Adam's like, whatever, and I was like, they're so mean.
I don't particularly like it. It's just kind of like to me, I think it's a little bit of validation if somebody's out there and getting upset about.
They care enough to.
Yeah, it's like, well, we stirred the pot enough. Not that the attempt is to stir the pot, but like really, if you get real, it tends to stir the pot.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I've moved on since then.
Good.
It's been a few years.
It's good. Yeah.
I'm no longer harboring resentment.
Yeah. Now I just.
But I turn into a martyr quick. Like I try so hard. I turn to like an Italian mother. I'm like I just try so hard for everybody, and it's just never good enough.
Yeah. I don't know. After about a dozen messages, I was kind of like, I gotta start.
Yeah.
Not caring.
It's a great skill to have, like to compartmentalize.
Yeah.
I need to work on it.
Shut off those
emotions. Guys can send me tips on how to compartmentalize jerk people.
Yeah, it is not an easy thing, but
this went off the rails quick.
Maybe we should do more of them.
Well, I'll be here on Fridays, right?
Perfect. All right, please like, comment, share. We really appreciate it when we hear back from you guys, and we'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back on Monday. Maybe Amber will be here next Friday.
Maybe. As long as no one says anything mean to me.
All right. Yeah, if somebody says something mean, then you have to come back and prove them wrong.
I have to come back and apologize?
No. Don't apologize for other people being assholes. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.